Your call cannot be completed as dialed, or the number has been disconnected. Please check the number and dial again. Thank you.
Peace and greetings, everyone. Welcome to Planet Remix Radio. I am your host, of course, Ms.Blue, the Soulful Oracle. And I just want to welcome you all in. Welcome on into Planet Remix Radio. I definitely do want to do a sound check and make sure that we are broadcasting nice and clear from all over the world. And so that you can hear us nice and clear. Make sure we got some of that reverb, some of that echo out of there, and make sure you all can hear me nice and clear and loud. So, peace and greetings, everyone. How are we all doing? How are we all feeling? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wow. A couple of announcements as we get ready to get into our share tonight. Of course, you guys know joining me live is going to be King Simon. He's going to be coming on talking about some of his new projects, some of the things that he's been working on. And of course, we're going to dive into a love of myself as well, and one of his found loves. We're going to be talking about numbers. We're going to be talking about numerology, and we're going to be talking about numbers, but probably not in the way that you might think. So I'm excited for what King Simon has to share with us. But before we get started, how are you doing? How are you feeling? And oh my goodness, how was your day today? So, good morning, good night, good afternoon. Welcome from wherever you're listening in from. I'm so glad to definitely have us join together here. So, good morning, good night, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome on in, whether you're a new listener, first time listener, or if you've been listening for a long time. I want to welcome you on in to Planet Remix. Now, definitely, I do want to let you know the Blue Room is open. So I want to give you those cosmic directions so you can find your way on over and you can join us in the Blue Room. First thing you're going to do is you're going to go over to YouTube. And once you go over to YouTube, you're going to type in Blue, Blue, that's me, and then Raz, Ras, and then Berry, Beras, Raz, Berry, Berry, and that's going to get you locked in. So that's Blue Raspberry, Rasberry, and that's going to get you locked in. I do want to also let you know the phone lines are open and you're more than welcome to come join us on the phone lines. So let me give you that call in number so you can call in if you want to call in. And the call in number is 515-605-9794. And that is going to get you locked in. That is going to get you locked in. That's going to get you locked in. Yeah, that's going to get you locked in. That is going to get you locked in, and you will be able to join us here live. You'll be able to join us live, and we'll have King Simon. He's in the building. He's going to be joining us here in just a short moment. So we have a lot of things that we're going to be covering tonight and talking about his latest book that he has out. We're going to be talking about that. But I want to take this time to just welcome everyone on in and trust that you all are doing well. Want to give a big shout out to the Blue Room and to everyone in the Blue Room. And if you all did not hear the share on Friday night, you must go. You absolutely must go and download, because we had an amazing, powerful, very magical share with the goddess Rainwater. And so Goddess Rainwater is in the building tonight. Longtime OG family, soul family member of Planet Remix. And she is joining us here tonight. So I want to welcome you to do that, as well as you to go back and download, and listen to that share that we did on Friday night for Goddess Rainwater. I want to remind you of a couple of things as you're in the building. First of all, let me say this. Happy Born Day to everybody celebrating a born day during the month of February. So we are in the midst, or the thralls, I guess we can say astrologically, of crossing over this threshold from Aquarius and into this very, very mystical, powerful energy of Pisces. So happy born day to all of the aqua babies out there, as well as happy born day to all the Pisces in the building, those who are celebrating their born day at this time. I also want to tell you this. I definitely want you all to know, for everybody who signed up for the frequency expansion course. It is a 6-week course that is going to be going down. It's going to be going down. We're going to kick that off right before we get ready to get into this new Virgo, this Virgo moon. The Virgo moon that's coming up. We're going to be kicking that off on the 23rd, 24th, around that time. But we're going to have a meet and greet that's going to be coming up here really, really soon. So I want to invite you all, if you did not secure your spot in this 6-week course, many of you have. And we are definitely going to be getting it in. It's going to be so powerful. We're going to learn so many techniques, so much of what I've learned over the years when it comes to energy healing, when it comes to galactic energy healing, when it comes to understanding about frequencies and expansion and tapping into those energies. We are going to be diving in for 6 whole weeks. Doing that work, and there's still time to get in. So I want to welcome you on in. I want to welcome our moderators in the building, to Brother Lance, Mr. Dante, and Lola Falana, as well as the Soul family who is joining us in. But without further ado, we're going to listen to some Baby Blue, but I'm not going to hesitate because I'm excited about this conversation that we're going to be having tonight with King Simon. And I've been able to dive in to his latest project. And this is what we're going to be talking about, you guys. We're going to be talking about numerology, but we're going to be doing it king style here tonight. And in a way that is really going to help you expand your awareness about what you have understood and learned about numerology, because he has a very, very unique way of tapping into this. And really, we're going to be putting a lot of focus when it comes on what we all know and understand is about the mind, and really how to bring that balance, how to bring that harmony, but not just to bring the balance and not just to bring the harmony, but to be able to expand your awareness and your consciousness. So we're going to be diving into King, I call him King Simon, but King Solomon's. We're going to be diving into his temple, into his higher self temple, as he really shares these light codes with us when it comes to understanding about frequency, energy, and vibration. And through something that is so ancient, so universal, and so transforming as numbers. When you really understand the magic and the science of numbers, then you know there is nowhere you can go. There is nothing you can do. There is nothing you can say that does not involve this frequency. You know, we talk a lot about numbers here, but I really am excited to bring this brother on so that he can share with you all the things that he's learned over the many, many years about working with numbers in his very own unique way. So that's going to be coming up. We're going to listen to a little bit of Baby Blue. I want to welcome everybody in. Let's hit that like button because I want you to hit that like button. This is our way of sending out a cosmic signal. We're going to be sending out that cosmic signal to our soul family so that they can know exactly that we are live and this is some content that they need to push forward at this particular time. So let's hit that like button as well. And I want to welcome you all in. We're going to listen to a little bit of Baby Blue and then we're going to come back and get started.
La 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 la, the remix. Hey, this is Baby Blue. And remember, if nothing else moves you, life will.
That is so true. If nothing else moves you, life will. If nothing else moves you, life will. Peace and greetings to you, King. Welcome on in.
I am honored. Do we have an echo again?
I don't think so.
Okay, good.
I don't hear an echo, but let's we can check in with the soul family to make sure we can see you nice and clear. So we see that I don't want to say beautiful for brothers, but that gorgeous smile. We see King there. They said, yeah, there's a little bit of echo, but that's okay.
Really?
We'll work on that. Are you also streaming on your end as well, or no?
No, I'm not.
Okay,
So
perfect.
let me see.
Let's see. And you have your headset on, so
I have my headset. As you advised.
yeah. So we are going to work through this, but give me 1 second. I'm going to try one thing here and let us see. I'm a little new to the mic here, but we're going to see if that made it any better. And how does it sound on your end?
Hey. I still have a little echo going on.
You have a little bit.
In my ear.
I wonder
I'm
if...
surprised.
Let's
I
see.
just came off of a show and it didn't have no echo. So.
Yeah, I wonder if it's also because I'm streaming on the phone lines here. So let me make sure that all systems are
Muted,
all
right?
systems are go. All systems are go. But I think that's what it was. Hold on 1 second. Let's see. I know it's going to sound crazy. Yeah. It sounded crazy for a second, but it should have gotten better.
Hope so.
Should have gotten better.
Check.
Okay. Still in echo, everyone, or we sounding better?
It's a little echo. On my side, I can still. Let me see.
Okay. So try it now and let's see. Is that better? It was no, and it was good. And then now
1, 2.
1, 2. You sound clear on my end, but
It's all right. Yes.
we gonna get it. It's still there. Thank you, Gio. One more thing. Just one more thing, you guys.
1, 2. Yes.
Go back there. I just need to make sure all microphones. First of all, just want to say thank you to everybody for your patience. Some of this is new to me. So we gonna see. Okay. It's a little better now. Yeah, I'm looking for something now. Let me see if I can find it. Here. And this needs to go. I wonder.
Oh.
I know, I hear it.
Oh, that's you.
Hold on. No. Loud. Okay. All right. Let's see if it changed anything now.
1, 2. Still hear a little echo.
You still hear it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to give a few minutes
Want me
for.
to come on and come off?
No. I don't want you
Okay.
to come on and come off, but I'm going to give a few minutes for the blue room because I want to see if that changed the echo.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're a little, I want to say they're a little behind us, but is the echo still there, please, Blue Room, if you all can still hear us?
Testing.
I hear you clear.
Okay.
Yeah, keep talking. Keep talking, King,
Okay.
please.
Greetings, one and all. I am honored to be here with my dear and beautiful sister that I've admired all these years, her voice in particular. And I'm honored to be on the show today, where the great legends have been on, like the Bobby Heavens and the Panics and the Bilaus and all the great ones that have been, and her herself. I'm still also echoing on my side. But
are you?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure what.
Let's see.
Try to let's do this. We're gonna do one more thing and then we're just gonna roll with it in just a moment because I really think it's the phone lines. And but I'm gonna figure out where I need to adjust the phone lines here. Let me get this. Okay. Anyway, how is your day going? How are okay.
You talking to me?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. And you know, it's been one of those days, and I just did a show with a sister named Adara Moselle, who is a tantric healer, and it was a great show, great information. And of course, today is my day of study and all of that, and research, and of course, preparing for this. And I'm just honored that I can be right here with you on the planet remix itself. Love it.
Okay. Let's see if that is better. Can you still hear me, King?
I can still hear you, but yeah.
And the echo is still there.
Slightly, but I can hear, it sounds like I'm on a reggae dance hall music sound system.
Oh, no.
Lot of mercy.
I know, right? Oh, my goodness. Let's see. Noise cancellation. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you. Good. That's good. Now we don't have the echo. Yes.
We don't.
Yes, I don't hear the echo. Good.
Oh, okay. All right. Give it up for the sparkles.
Time to turn up.
Oh, my goodness.
That was beautiful.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Ashe. Blessings. Had to do a little bit of channeling there. Yes, so we're going to officially start here. I just want to welcome you all in, and I want to say thank you and welcome to King Simon, who is going to be joining us here on Planet Remix for the very, very first time. Truly an honor to have you in the building and to have you joining us here. I want to start out, like I said, my introduction with you came from many years ago, and just sort of being in the community of those who are making a difference. And I remember seeing your flyers. I remember, seeing your post and all of this. And even though we weren't formally connected, like you stated earlier, we were connected through so many different people, and I've heard your name mentioned through so many different people. So, heard your name mentioned when it came to, Brother Bobby Hemmett, through Brother Panic being mentioned. I even, go back to think when I met Brother Reggie,
Yes.
Brother Reggie and Dr. Ben, Ashe to him. And also when, I think about the days when I interviewed Dr. Naeem Akbar and he
Yes.
came on the show, and Dr. Francis Cress Welsing
Yes. Yes. You have.
on the show, and Queen Afua when she
Yes.
came on the show, Dr. Phil Valentine,
Yes.
been a guest on the
Yes.
show. So, we've been around some of the same
Yes.
hemispheres. I guess
Yes.
that's what I would call it. The same hemispheres.
Exactly.
But always the right time for the right moment for things to connect. So
Yes.
I'm just glad that you're here, and I'm glad you're coming on to definitely share some knowledge with us. And I want to start out because this is going to be a great question. And I've been diving in your book. You don't even want to know. I've been diving in. I got
Good.
pages. I got
Good.
highlights.
Good.
I
Good.
got
Good.
highlights in here. I love me
Do
some
you?
numerology.
Yes, you
I
do.
have a numerology deck, and it's interesting that you changed the name as well.
Mm,
So I have done that as well when I came out with a deck a few years ago, and
I
I
have a
call it
deck too.
New New
Right.
ology.
Mm,
And you have your version of that. So
right.
we're going to have a lot of fun, but I have a lot of questions for you that I know that you will be able to answer when it comes to numerology. And some of these are even questions I've had myself, you know,
Mm,
so I'm excited about that. But I want you to start out by telling everyone a little bit about yourself, whatever you want to share, like where you're from,
right. Right.
and,
No
just
problem.
catch us up. Yeah.
Well, first of all, thank you very much to the Planet Remix family. Thank y'all very much. I've been an adamant follower of this beautiful sister for many years, and her voice is so radio. I'm so pulled in towards the radio voice. I love it. Big ups to the blog talk world, everybody that we seen. And
Yes.
matter of fact, I was speaking to Brother Rich today, and he said, "Ms.Blue is still around." I said, "Of course she is. What are you talking about?" So big up, Brother Rich sends his salute to you. I did speak to him
Okay.
today.
Well, to him as well. I
Yeah.
think what was his
Underground network.
underground?
Right.
Yeah,
Underground
something like
Railroad
that. I
network.
couldn't
Right.
remember. Yes, please
Underground Railroad
give my
network.
love to him too.
Yes.
It's so how we think about 6 degrees of separation.
Yes. Yes.
That can be so close, but
Right.
it can be so far,
Yeah.
at the same time, because I remember Brother Rich. I don't know him, but I know of his work, and I remember back, when I would see his advertisement, that's what I remember the
Yeah.
name Black Magic,
Black Magic.
because I always love magic,
Right.
I've just been a magic girl. So, but yeah, give my love as well too. So good to know that he's still around and still doing his thing as well too. That's beautiful.
Yes,
That's
and
so
being raised in Brooklyn and New York and all throughout the boroughs, that's where a lot of my walk have
Mhm.
taken place, as far as not only a promoter but also a producer of different reggae events back in the day. I
Wow.
got into numbers through my grandmother, actually, who was born June 22nd. But my
Oh,
grandmother always acknowledged birthdays. My family's from Cuba and Jamaica. So we're
mhm.
Afro-Cuban Jamaican with the maroon background and all that kind of stuff.
Yes, yes.
And they used to, my grandmother used to send, back in the day, they used to have the big stocks of cards. And she used to send out cards to birthday for everybody.
Oh, wow.
And
That's
that's when
beautiful.
I realized how important birthday were
Mm,
to people.
mm,
And then I joined the 5% Nation. And of course, we
mm.
got into supreme mathematics.
Oh,
Now I
yeah.
realized how important numbers and mathematics was. And then I
Yeah.
joined the Ansar community on Bushwick with
No.
Imam Isa back in those days, Dr.
Okay.
York,
Mm,
who they call
wow.
him now. And
Yes.
then in '88, I left that community and went into the Nation of Islam under Elijah Muhammad and Minister Farrakhan, and Dr. Khalid was one of the lead ministers at that time. And I
Mhm.
learned again about numbers through that. But when I left the Ansar in '88 and '89, I was listening to Imhotep Gary Bird.
Wow.
on WLIB, WBLS, and Lloyd Strayhorn was on there, one of my teachers
Mm.
today, good friends. And I
Yes.
called in on my birthday on February 1st on 1989 while I
Wow.
reached New York, and he read my name like a book and my birthday, and that catapulted me into wanting to really go and pursue this thing and really break down the numbers and get into it to where we
Wow.
are today. So big up to Lloyd Strayhorn.
Yes. Wow. Definitely familiar with the brother Lord Strahan. I think the first time I heard his name mentioned was through Queen Afua.
Yes,
Now,
that's it.
we have another connection because I actually am from Brooklyn,
That's
New
right.
York.
That's
I'm
right.
born in Brooklyn, in Bushwick, in the Bushwick area.
I'm born in Brooklyn.
I went to Lincoln High, though, out in
Woo, yeah.
I went to Lincoln. When I was little, I went to PS 45 over there on
Wow.
Schaefer Street
I
between
see.
Bushwick and Evergreen.
Exactly.
And I also went to PS 219 for a while as
Wow.
well in New
Wow.
York. So
Yes.
the difference is I didn't grow up in New York, but
Right.
my family, my mother's family is from New York. So we
Mhm.
spent a lot of time in New York, but I spent most of my growing years outside of America. I lived in many different countries of the
Mhm.
world.
Mhm.
But my parents always felt like they wanted us to have that New York influence
Yes.
in us. They wanted us to go back so that we could never forget
Mhm.
to have that city kind of energy. And
Mhm.
I don't even know, at the time, my father was very heavy into dabbling into things such as the nation, as well
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
masonry.
Yeah.
And,
Mhm.
a lot of my cousins were 5%ers. I had to
Mhm.
learn about what that were, the stars and the moon. And, I was a little girl, but I was just so fascinated. I remember one day when my cousin was telling me, and my aunt was fussing at him, talking about you walking around here talking about you 5%. And, and then he started telling me all this stuff about the stars and the moon. I said,
That's
"Ooh,
right.
I
That's
wanna,
right.
I wanna learn. I want to learn." But that just brought back memories. But
Yes, it
that's
does.
beautiful how you had your introduction to
Yeah.
numbers
Yeah.
and how the numbers begin to start speaking with you. So
Yes.
after you had that, when was it that you knew? Because many times, as you know, King, we get introduced to a lot of things
Mhm.
and we may find that fascination with something. And it
Mhm.
may seem like, wow, like this is amazing, right?
Mhm.
But after about a week or so, we may dabble with it a little bit more. And even though we understand it and we learn it, it may not, we may not feel that calling like this is a calling for you. When did it go from just you researching to this is something that I know that I am meant to do on the planet?
Actually, 89 was the start, but actually, by the time we got into the 90s and 2000s, that's when,
Mhm.
because I was on radio, I was on WNWK, then I went to WWRL, and Lloyd was always right there, but I never really
Yes,
formally went to a class of his. I was just studying around him, and because we was radio comrades, we was always meeting each other at different functions and all
yeah,
that. And then it was in the club life while I was doing nightclubs, because I was a producer for SOBs, Palladium.
wow.
I've done shows for Irving Plaza. I've done Temptation Nightclub. We was doing all the
Mm.
nightclubs back in Act 3. I was a singer also. I was a reggae singer, #5 on the reggae charts.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, I was also, I went up
Little
#5.
reggaeton, little reggaeton.
Yeah, I opened up for Shabba Ranks. I
Oh,
opened
I
up for
love Shaba.
Shabba. Him
Oh my,
there.
listen, Shaba Ranks puts on hands down. I went to go
Yeah,
see, I'm gonna tell you, this was epic in Charlotte, North Carolina. Gotta tell
yeah.
you this.
He powerhouse.
Shaba Ranks,
Yes.
R. Kelly, and Bobby Brown. This was the concert.
Oh yes.
They
Yes.
arrested Bobby Brown for having
Yeah.
sex on stage
Yes.
with supposedly, allegedly,
Wow.
Al B. Shore's fiance. I'm not sure.
Wow.
Yes, but that was at that concert. They arrested Bobby Brown at that
Yeah.
concert. But let me tell you, Shaba came out there. Listen,
Tore it up. That's you.
Shaba. Yes, Shaba.
He's a Capricorn,
Oh, Shaba.
Summer's a Capricorn, Summer's a
That's
Capricorn.
right. He's a champion lover, a champion lover.
I went to school with Shaggy at Erasmus. We went to school. We
Okay.
used to do studio
Oh,
work together.
Erasmus. I'm very
Yeah.
familiar with Erasmus.
Yes, we went there. And also, Will Downing Jr. was with us in Erasmus back in the day. So it was a
Mhm.
lot of different energy back in
Wow.
those days. So,
Mhm.
yes, that was the time I was singing and doing. And most of my movements was based on, matter of fact, my first book was based on numerology, but it was called No Promotion is Bad Promotion. Just spell my name right. That's one of my first books that I
Ah,
wrote. After I left the club life, that's when I decided to write that book in 2012. And that's when I really started going into the authorship and writing my first numerology book, which is Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated. That's my first numerology book.
I love that. I love that. Oh my goodness. And so true. My goodness.
That's what Lloyd said.
My goodness.
It's so simple, but people.
People. Oh my gosh. My spirit guides, the ancestors tell me when I'm looking in the Akashic records, I'm like, ooh. Okay, we're going to get it together. So you knew then that this was something that was a part of who you are.
Yes.
No, because there's a point where the work sort of kind of leaves you and
Yes.
it's not work anymore and it becomes a part of who you are. So everything that you do, everything that you say, everything that you touch, it is infused into that working, into that working. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. So you started doing the work, you started writing books, and you begin to start utilizing this.
Yes, because
Uh,
Lloyd said something to me very key. He said, "Brother, you're good at this."
mm-hmm.
And out of all of his he told me out of all of his students, I was the first to write a numerology book.
I love it.
Out of all of his students, that's what he said to me. I was like, "What?"
Yeah,
And then he went on Sonetta's show and said, "King Simon is the numerologist for the future."
I
He,
love that.
and I was like, Ms.Blue, when I said tears came to my eyes because he didn't know I was watching, and he was on
Yes,
Sonetta's couch, and then he said that, and he was breaking down numbers, and Sonetta said to him, "Yo, Lloyd, King Simon, he's just like you." He said, "King Simon is the numerologist for the future." And
mm,
sure enough, my mind went like, I started crying because it's like somebody passing a baton to me.
absolutely,
And,
absolutely.
when the elders,
Oh yeah,
co-sign what you do, especially from New York, because New York, you had to show and prove
oh yeah,
5%.
oh
Nation
yeah.
of Islam, Dr.
hmm
Ben, Dr. Clark,
Yes,
Barashango, they had to show
hmm
and prove in these
that's
streets.
right. Yeah, they really did, and it's not nothing was handed.
Nothing was handled.
And I have had that feeling as well. But
Yes.
like you said, it means something different
Yes.
when you one can acknowledge who your teacher is
Yes.
and know that you have been able to cultivate yourself. And in a way, it really is a saving grace, because you get to learn through these great ones who came before us and not have to struggle as much as they did.
Right.
And they are teaching and passing on those things so that you don't have to go through those shortcomings that
Right.
they went through in their understanding. So, in a way, we all sort of get a chance to get a quantum leap. We get a chance to kind of walk through dimensions with our elders. And I certainly felt that way when Brother Bobby Hemmett turned one of his readings over to me and told me, "Blue, I'm going to teach this to you because you're going to be the one to take this forward, and I forever cherish that. And for all of my teachers, those close and far, just for the work that they have put down, is amazing. So you had this incredible moment and something so unexpected. What did it do for you? I know what it did for you spiritually. I'm sure you had a spiritual what I like to call a cosmic orgasm, a
Yes.
spiritual orgasm, like your DNA just exploded, because words can wake up your DNA. It can
Hmm.
literally transform you. So we say the power of life and death is in the tongue, but words can truly activate your DNA. This is something we do a lot of this work on Planet
Right.
Remix, is
Right.
activation through words and frequency.
Hmm.
People say that about my voice. I say that about your voices too. But I think we have activation codes in our voice. And
Right.
when we're speaking sort of that truth from inside of us, it can activate. But what did it do for your confidence at that particular point?
It turned it up 100%. Not from an ego perspective. It turned
Right,
it up
right.
from a very respectable understanding that if your teacher can acknowledge you, or one of your teachers can acknowledge you, and I've had many teachers acknowledge me. Dr. Blair, all of them has acknowledged me from a certain
Yes,
perspective. But when
yes.
you're when you're when you're
Doctor.
yeah, yeah, I know. So when you're pursuing something and you're working towards being similar, or doing what one of your teachers did, and they acknowledge you for what you are and what you do, that's the most powerful thing that you can ever
Really
get.
nice.
It's like giving you 100 on a test,
Yes,
in
yes,
school, and that's
yes.
what helped me a lot with
Yes, me too. It
yeah,
helped me grow. It helped me
yes,
grow, and I
right,
am so grateful, so grateful, so grateful, and always am thankful and acknowledging them. So
right.
it helped you grow, and so what happened next? Did you dive in? Did this
Mm.
consume you? Did it become your life, or were you still sort of kind of doing this here and doing that there? Where did it take you next?
It helped to enhance me to another level. It helped me to enhance my promotion, because I knew what's the cycles I needed to do the promotion and production. I knew when to produce flyers, because I was still, my first love was always singing, but also promotion, because I
Yeah.
was born in a nightclub. The year I was born in Brooklyn, New York, at the Jewish Hospital, and
Okay.
on Prospect. My father
Okay.
opened up a nightclub that year that I was born.
Wow.
So
Wow.
and you, it's so funny. I was speaking to my father today, and he called his company King Tab, and I called
Wow.
my company King Simon off of my middle name. He
Wow.
used King Tab off of his full name, and then we was
Wow.
talking about that, and he was called King Tab, and I'm called King Simon. So that the word king comes from kin, which is just a kith and kin of something that was passed
Yes.
on from generation to generation. Because my cousin took over the promotion, then I took over the promotion and took it to other levels, because I got on radio. I started promoting the same artists that they was playing in the basement or in the club. Boom, I
Mhm.
was bringing them in, the Gregory Isaac, the Dennis Brown. I was bringing them to town.
Wow.
Shabba
Yes.
Ranks working with Shabba and
Yes.
Buju and everybody. I was taking it to other levels. So that's what children are supposed to do. Take it to
That's
the
right.
next level.
To the next level.
And that's
I
what I
think
did.
it was Dr. Leonard Jeffries, I
Yes.
first heard say that statement when he said, this is one of the things that we are to do for the ancestors,
Right.
is to take it to another level. Each generation should learn from each other and continue to
Yeah.
move on. So powerful. So
Yes.
it elevated you. It elevated you, and you just
Kept
went,
moving. I
kept
don't
moving.
I didn't stop. That's one of my mottos. Keep it moving, keep it simple.
There it is. Keep it
That's
kiss. My
Yeah,
daddy
kiss. I
would
think kiss. That's the military.
my
Kiss.
daddy would say that.
Keep it,
Kiss.
keep it
Keep it
simple,
simple,
stupid.
stupid.
Yep, keep it simple, stupid.
Oh,
In the nation, when I was in the nation, we said, "Keep it simple, soldier. Keep it simple, sister."
yeah.
That's how
You
that
gotta
cat
keep it
kiss.
simple. Keep it
Yes,
simple.
keep it simple.
Wow.
And
Wow.
that's what I base my whole numerovation perspective on: keeping it simple, stupid, or keeping it simple and keeping it moving.
Yes,
You
yes,
know?
I love that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that, because I looked at that name,
Yes.
and I just 100 thoughts came to mind.
Good.
But it was such a beautiful vibration. I want you to tell us, because at this point, your body of work of you doing this has spanned over a 30-year
Mhm.
um, progress.
Yes.
So, what brought you to numeration and
Numerovation.
numerovation. There
Right.
you go. Numerovation.
Numerovation. Right.
Yeah. What brought us to numerovation? You know?
Is when I realized that numerology basically means the study of numbers. That's all it means.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
any application of numbers in any level, just we do it from an esoteric when you're doing it with personal and all that.
Yes.
Any application of numbers is numerology. It's the
Yeah.
study of numbers. They just separate it and call it this and try to make it this. That's how they do with us.
That's right. That's right. To make it more complicated when it is
Exactly. It's that
all
simple.
so, as Lauren Hill say, so very simple. It
It's
can be simple. It can be
exactly so
so
simple.
simple.
So simple.
So,
It's not hard. And then I
mhm,
went I went from, numerology to numerologics. Because if
mhm,
you go on my website, you'll see numerologic there also, because that was
yeah,
one of the names. And then one time I went to sleep and I dreamt about this word numerovation, because there's numeration, but
yes,
there's not. I'm the only one that came up and coined numerovation, put it in the Urban Dictionary, and submitted it into the Lexicon Dictionary.
mhm,
So we'll be
mhm,
showing his face up in the next couple of years as the
yes,
algorithms build, because numerovation means using the Latin word numero, and
yes,
vation coming from motivation, to motivate you with the numbers, using your numerals to motivate you. Not,
absolutely,
not just reading your numbers. That's why I tell people I don't do readings. I do consultations or advising,
yes,
because the dukes of the time and the presidents of that time, guess what? They had them as advisors and consultants.
advisors,
They didn't call them readers.
consultants. That's right.
That's
They
what they
just
call
That's right. That's right. It's not a reading,
them.
even though we have symbolized it into a
Exactly.
reading. But
Yes.
you're right. It really is a consultation,
It is.
and in some instances, and I know you can find this in your work, I do in
Mhm.
mine, it's an initiation. You
Yes.
you understand, because these are appointed.
Yeah.
This is not random that we are meeting at this appointed time. These are things that we have had in our records,
Exactly.
that we agreed upon, of this
Exactly.
coming together. So that is
Exactly.
powerful.
That's it.
Now, I want to talk about and I want to dive into, because I don't know how much time we have with you.
Go
We'll
ahead.
keep
Go ahead. Go ahead. We started a little late.
you
We're good. We're
all
good.
night.
That's
We'll
right.
keep you all night. But I want to talk about numbers. And number one, I want to talk, because we're not going to get into the basics of numerology. I will say my audience is very well in
Okay.
depth.
In depth.
A lot of work myself and Brother Bilal and others, we've covered that, and even our perspective when it
Yes.
comes to going behind the numbers. But
Yes.
you take a very, very sort of very interesting and innovative kind of
Mhm.
synergy with
Yeah.
numbers.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about this intersection of numerology and mental health,
Mm.
and how the numbers show up when it comes to something as critical as understanding the mind. We know all is mind.
Mind. That's right.
The all is mind.
Yeah.
We understand that. But
Mhm.
I'm talking about from a holistic point of view. What
Mm.
have the numbers taught you about
Mm.
the mental health of our minds?
I'm glad you said that, because Dr. Laila Africa, may he rest in eternal peace and
Okay,
paradise,
yes, yes.
he published 3 of my books before Numerovation.
Wow.
I self-published them first, and then he took them on and said, "I'm going to get them into certain places for you."
Yes,
Well, and I spent a lot of time with him and his wife up there in Indianapolis and in Ohio, and
yes.
that part, those two areas. And he said, always look at the numbers from a holistic perspective.
Mm,
WHO. He didn't
that's
say HOL. He
right.
said WHO. And
Hmm.
he even interviewed me on his. I was the first to be interviewed on his YouTube channel,
Wow.
because
Beautiful.
he respected what I did from this and using this book. He's the publisher of this book. No, numbers are simple, people are complicated. And
Wow.
when you look at things from a holistic perspective, you got to look at everything, every
Yes.
angle, every word. That's why when people say angel numbers, I said, remember the word angel and angle is the same word.
Same thing.
That's
Angel
right.
and
So if
yeah.
you start seeing angel numbers, it's telling you what angle you need
Angle.
to take.
That's
And
right.
I've heard you say it before too. So I
Yes.
started laughing. I said, wow, we all on that frequency.
We on that frequency.
Exactly. So, you know, Dr. Laila Africa was 13 years of being, he was a 13-year participant of being a psychotherapist. A lot of people don't know he was a psychiatrist for 13 years.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I wrote and mentioned him in the book. And because I asked him what was going on, what happened. And then when I started seeing the patterns of numbers, especially 5 particular numbers that kept on showing up in the mental health dynamic, especially for celebrities in my family, around me, I seen the number 4, the number 7, the number 8, the number 5, and the number 3. 5 and 3 being on the lower totem pole, lowest of the totem pole, because they deal with nervous issue. And
Yeah.
if you irk a person to their nerve or get them going down a nervous path, then guess what? They can go through depression with that. So
Yes.
that's why they're the last. But that 4, 7, and 8, I notice it with Robin Williams. I
Oh,
notice
yeah.
it in the patterns of Lowell Hawthorne, the owner of Golden Crust, which happens to be my cousin on my mother's side.
Oh, wow.
I noticed it with Don Cornelius.
Oh.
The pattern, because they
So
was in a mental health pattern, or whether it was under those numbers. That's what I
go
had.
back to your cousin.
Yes.
Is he the one? He didn't make the patties, did he?
He even make the patties. Yes.
Oh, you know, I had a channel on him.
What?
We'll talk enough. Yes,
You got it.
this
Oh,
is
yes.
what I didn't know his name, but a channel.
Lowell
Because
Hawthorne.
so many people reached out to me and said, I remember this like it was yesterday, going in the grocery store really quick.
Yes.
And my daughter used to like those Jamaican patties.
Yes.
And I remember we went to this shop that we have here in Texas. And when I tasted the patty that my daughter wanted so bad, I said, these are fresh, but they're not making it. And at the time, I didn't really know. Well, I knew how I knew that, but I didn't get any more information. I just kept saying, this store is selling these patties like they are making them, but they're not. And when I found the box, I was so excited, and we would get the Jamaican patties.
Right.
Fast forward, my daughter is in middle school at this time. By the time she got to high school, she had become a vegan. She was a baby vegan. That's another story. But she would refuse to eat meat for years, sometimes growing up. And then she went to be a vegan.
Right.
But long story short, when I heard the story about how he passed, I became obsessed with it. I said, you can't tell me this man. Why would he? And I went into the channel, but to know that that is your cousin.
Yes, so it's a second cousin. Because we went to his when my aunt passed on, his brother came and did the funeral and talked about their relation. Because he was still in Jamaica doing something out there in Jamaica. So my brother came to the funeral and did he was a pastor. One of his brothers is a pastor now.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah. But
I'll say to him, Ashe.
He's in my book. You'll see his name in my book, and I showed you the numbers, the breakdown of the numbers.
I'm gonna get there. So you started noticing this, and even with Don Cornelius.
Yes.
You know, and what did you notice that stood out? I mean, you've seen the patterns. You've seen the patterns of these particular numbers.
Yes.
And you gave the breakdown because of the 3, because of the nervous energy. Give us the breakdown. Are you talking about 3 just across the board? Are you talking about life path numbers?
Very good.
Yeah. Give us the breakdown of what this intensity of this number and this pattern that you were seeing.
With the 4, 7, 8, 5, and 3, those kept on showing up when it came to nervous breakdown and depression. Everyone, and because and when I mean that, it could show up even as a life path, the day you were born, even the month that you're born in, and the amount of times it shows up in your name.
That's right. Yeah.
You draw it. That's why I tell people it's possible to draw this to you.
Yes.
Unless you learn how to, like we used to say, prevention is better than cure. Learn how to
Yes.
identify it and prevent it before it happens.
That's right. Proactive instead of reactive.
Right.
Right.
That's
That's
right.
right.
That's why even in Dr. Africa's book, he talked about a medical astrology. You can do medical astrology
That's
and
right.
recognize
Yes.
it also.
That's
So
right.
that's when I started So I started studying certain entertainers, and Beyonce saying she going through mental health. She born on the 4th. Seeing Kerry Washington going through mental health. She born on the 31st. Seeing Judge Tola going through mental health. She born on the 25th. 25 and 7. Start seeing these things started popping up. Even Robin Williams born on the 21st. But he was also in one of those mental health cycles, because it could show up in one of those cycles, a daily cycle, a monthly cycle, a yearly cycle. I remember Ms.Blue walking in a park after working out in Flatbush, and all of a sudden I must have smelled something, and it triggered me to cry in the park. And then I consult the numbers, and then when I found out, I consulted the numbers. I said, "Oh, I'm in a 4 personal day." So that 4 personal day takes in something mental, because it's a deep mental stimulating number, and it'll draw and hold on into your head till the point it'll tap into something from your past, which could be a smell or a look or a taste, and bring the trigger out to you.
Yes. Yes.
That's how I started realizing, and this is 10 years ago.
That's how you started realizing it, and you noticed the pattern with particular numbers that was even, it just had a stronger natural hold on that particular number. And not to mention, of course, the numbers themselves are connected to the planets.
Yes.
So now this is where the whole holistic energy starts to come in. You understand?
Exactly.
And then we have the universal number, which is the year we're in.
That's right.
Which I want to talk about, because we're in a universal year of 8.
Right.
And even though we're in February, we're still at the beginning of this. And, it's a lot that I think people are just starting to wake up, that we have changed frequencies, even though we know technically the new year doesn't begin until later in the year. But energetically, this is something that I personally feel that everyone on the planet, we agreed that this would be one of our rules, our guiding principles, that we all sort of collectively agree on, that this is going to be the year 2024. So talk about that, because we have those 2s there, right? And we have that 0 there, and then we have that 24 there. And then, let's talk about energetically, what does this mean for everyone? And then we'll drill a little deeper down into each individual unit.
One thing don't realize when you look at things from a holistic perspective, remember, we're constantly saying 2024.
24s.
Right. See, we're constantly saying that. And even from 2023, which added up to a 7, which is also a mental health number. If you notice what was going on in the minds of people, what they were doing last year, it was interesting. But 2024, I look at it again from a holistic perspective, which even Lloyd would say, the old way of adding numbers was month on top of day on top of year. And then the newer way was adding across.
Yes.
So what I did is add 20 plus 24, and I got 44.
Yes, that's
from
right.
another perspective. Again, and then it added up to the 8. So when I seen the 44, I said, 44 is a different one. Because every numerologist in the world is going 2024 means 8. 2024 means 8. King Simon not doing that. King Simon said 2024, 20 and 24 means something.
That's
202 means something. 024 means something.
That's right.
Backwards and forward, it means exactly. It means something.
Number means something. Their placement means something. That's right. Their placement means something. Yeah.
And whatever you resonate that works for you, I tell you, go towards it, because 44 in certain aspects of the compound numbers of what, remember, they didn't call it 44 master numbers until later on. It was
That was
11
funny.
and 22. And even
Yes.
the Vedic don't even pay attention to the massive
No,
numbers like
they
that.
don't.
So I'm
They
studying
don't.
all of that too. I'm saying, okay,
Mm-hmm.
this is interesting. And I said,
Mm-hmm.
so what I did, I said, wait a minute, if it's 44, if we're looking at it from a holistic perspective, and 44 in one aspect means trust the universe.
That's right. That's right.
44. And because it's a mental number, you got to trust it mentally,
Physically
physically,
and
and spiritually.
spiritually. Absolutely.
You got to trust it in all levels because remember, 4 is a building block.
That's right. And it's connected to Aquarius
And
energy.
the Uranus and and we got to
That's
remember
right.
those
That's
planets
right. That's
again. So
right.
again,
Uranus and
and
Saturn and
Saturn,
all of that.
exactly.
That's right.
Isn't it ironic? 44 is a Uranus, and then it adds up to 8, which is Saturn. So you see
Yes.
all of it now. You see it all coming to you.
Mhm. You
Now,
do.
what do you do with that, and how do you use it for yourself? Everybody like to say, "Oh, it's money. It's a money frequency. It's a money frequency." No, but currency,
Yes, it's
it's
always
different. It's
here.
always
Yeah.
always there because it's energy. And we
Hmm.
got to learn to, and because they add up to the 8 that look like an erected infinity symbol, but I tell people it's not the infinity symbol. It's only us in the metaphysical community that see the symbolism and understand that symbolism,
That's true.
repetition, and trauma is how we learn. That's how
Hmm.
we see it as a, but in 1655, when John Wallace invented or reinvented or pulled it down, the infinity symbol, he didn't think of it as the infinity symbol connected to 8,
Yeah.
but it was inspired by the number 8 because 8 is
Yeah.
older than the infinity symbol.
Yeah.
8
Wow.
is older than the
Wow.
infinity symbol.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so when I found that out, I said, "Oh my goodness, these guys here," and
It's deep.
how the world should use this
Mhm.
because of the 44 and the 8. Those are disciplinary numbers. They're
Mm.
here to put you in order, put you in check, and
Oh,
make sure you
yes,
are in order mentally, physically, and spiritually. And
that's
because
right.
8 is a karmic number, what
That's
goes
right.
around comes around
Comes
because karma
around.
only means cause and effect.
That's it.
So be
That's it.
careful what you're thinking because
Thank
those are
you.
mental numbers.
That's
Remember,
right.
4, 7, and 8 are the mental numbers. So you got to
That's
be
right.
very careful what you put out there. That's why I said trust the universe
Yes.
within you as well as outside of you.
That's right. So powerful. I love that. Oh, I love the way you broke that down. Yes.
I
Yes.
love
We
it.
need sparkles. We need
You
sparkles up
you're
in
funny.
here. No, 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 no. It's really, really good because it is so true. It is so, so true.
It's so
Like
true.
you said, it is only us that really understands this infinity and
Mhm.
understand. You know, when I talked about it, I shared with people, yeah, it can be infinity. Remember, we are living in a dimension that's malleable,
Yes.
meaning that it goes backwards and forth and it goes up and it goes down. That's why we have as above, so within, as
Mhm.
without. So, as above, so below, as without, so within. I said,
Yes.
so this could either be something that really takes you into the future and
Yes.
you can literally get on a new frequency, a whole nother, you can jump timelines, or you can be locked in because if you look at the number 8 and you turn it on its side, it
Mhm.
also resembles handcuffs. So it
Yes.
can also take you back into the slavery of the matrix, the
Exactly.
slavery of
Exactly.
whatever you've been working out of, what cycles you've grown through, what cycles you've learned through. It can
Yes.
take you back into that. So I
Yes.
love that you touched on that and some of the things that we need to be mindful of in a
Yes.
holistic point of view. So
Yes.
we talked about the mind triad,
Mhm.
and we talked about those numbers and some of those things that you've been seeing when it
Mhm.
comes to that. But I want to talk about especially this subject of mental health,
Yeah. Yes.
which is on the forefront because of how we're living our lives
Yes.
in the world today. We are living like none of our ancestors and none of us have ever lived
Mhm. That's right.
in any lifetime, past lifetime that we've ever incarnated. So
That's right.
mental health is something that can impact you.
Mm.
Don't think if you don't have these numbers, you're not subjected
That's right. That's right. That's right.
to being able to do this. But I want to kind of pivot here and I want to talk a little bit because your approach is so unique. so listeners could get more of an understanding. We're going to talk about where they can find the book and people can dive in, and also how you all can connect with King Simon as well.
Mhm.
I want to talk about, how do you define
Mhm.
mental stability
Mm.
within the context
Mhm.
of numerology?
How do I define mental stability in the context of what's so interesting about that question is because when you're dealing with the numbers, you try to manage your weaknesses and strengthen your strengths
Mm.
to bring
Ah,
about mental
oh,
stability.
yeah, go deep into that. Yes,
And
let's talk about it.
I like to say where I got that quote from. I got that quote from a pastor because
Mhm.
I study everything.
Yes.
Pastor A.R. Bernard of CCC in Brooklyn, a
Mm.
big church in Brooklyn.
Wait a
Pastor,
minute.
yes,
I know that church. Yes, I
that
know
big
that.
yeah, the
Yes,
one that
the
the
big
church,
one.
yeah,
Yes,
the church you need to have a guest list to get in.
yes,
That
yes, yes,
church.
yes, yes. I know that church. I
Look
know
into
that
my
church.
sister works with him. She's a Christian radio host, so she works with him. Big up to
Yes,
my sister.
beautiful.
And he's born August the 10th, so I see why he's leading that church. So,
Mm.
but the a lot of us don't realize how much that the solution is always in the same room as the problem, like
Mm.
Ian Levanzant used to say, and it's in the same mirror.
Yes,
The same.
yes,
That's why mirror magic was so important
that's
to
right.
find
That's
out
right.
who you are, what you are, and wait. That's why when I was in the Sufi order, we had to
Mm.
practice mirror magic.
That's right. That's right.
From back in the day. So
That's right.
mental stability comes with a lot of work. That's why my book says Numerovation for Mental Stability, a numerovational guide to recognizing mental instability and staying motivated, because it is a work
Oh, yes.
to
A
stay motivated.
never-ending work.
Never ending work. That's right.
Mhm. Never
Because,
ending.
because they're using the 4 M's to
Mm.
confuse us: music, media,
Mm.
and movies, and all of the M's in numerology in both systems add up to is a 4. And
Sure
4 is
do.
mental health. 4, 4, 4.
Yes,
And music,
yes.
media, and
Wow.
they know what they're doing.
Yes,
They
yes.
know what they're doing with
That's
those 3
powerful.
apparatuses. Those 4 fours. Those are
Mm.
43 fours. People are
Yes,
not thinking about that. And I pointed that out on another broadcast, saying about paying attention to the lead numbers of words.
yes, yes.
Because we know in numerology, because we know that these things have frequency, have vibration, and in order for us to maintain mental stability, it's going to take all the armors of God to
Oh,
work.
yes.
They'll use
Everything.
all of them. What you do,
Everything.
what I do, what
Do
Bobby did,
whatever.
what different
That's right. What everybody does.
Rain does, all of
That's
them do.
right. That's right. Absolutely. Yeah, that's
In the book, I tell you, I thought about, almost took my life 3 times.
mm.
And the first time was at 8 years of age, because I didn't feel that my family or my friends loved me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
8 again is one of my challenge numbers, but 8 is also a mental health number. At 8
Yes,
years
it
of age,
is.
what is an 8-year-old thinking about that for?
That's right. That's right. That's right. It's so true. So
And
true.
so there was different times, and then the last time, but every time that I did it, even at 8 years old, there was an intervention, a spiritual, because I remember what you said when you did that thing with my great grandfather popping up. You said, I have a whole lot of ancestors. Well, guess what? At 8 years old, there was a bunch of thoughts and voices coming to my head saying, why are you going to do that? You're going to miss your mother. Well, this is what it was saying. Your father, you're going to love you, miss your grandpa. This is what it was saying
Wow.
in the bathroom, while I still have the mark on my wrist when I was trying to cut it. At
Mhm.
8, where would
At
I
8.
learn that from?
Right. Right.
And that was the same person that you pulled up at your when you did that session for me on air, was the one that committed suicide.
Right. And I asked you about that. I
Right,
said,
you did.
what is your connection with suicide in this?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you put up and he put up the number 4
Cool.
because nobody knew his birthday, but I knew his name, and it added up to 22, and 2 plus 2 equals 4.
Wow. Yeah, you
And
can't make this shit up. You can't.
you pointed out, and you said the well, and then when I called my father said he used to swim in that same well with us. I'm like, what? I haven't seen my grandfather since I was like 6.
Wow.
He had transitioned. He had already took his
Yes.
life.
Yeah.
But you said you said, whatever he did, don't question it. He did it
Yeah.
on his own. He shut down.
Yeah.
And my father said he did become quiet and wanted to do it without nobody knowing. That's why they found him in the bathroom.
Yes.
That's where
Yeah.
they found him, in a private little bathroom at one of his daughter's house. So,
Yeah.
and then you said he handed out a cake. I'm just doing showing you how all of this worked together, because as soon as my father told me that it was in the bloodline, that's when I said that was the last time I'll ever think about it.
Powerful.
I'm prefacing this because I
Yeah.
asked my father, I said, Pops, I'm thinking about doing this. And he said, boy, he said, yo, your grandfather did it, you know. I said, what? Then I realized it's in the blood.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't put it in check and manage the weaknesses.
That's right. That's right. Now, I want to bring this up. No, because these are some very, very powerful points, some transformational points. The workshop I just did, which it was called the Galactic E-Files, Volume 5, we talked about the ancestral line, because right now the portals are all open and ancestral healing is possible.
Yes.
It's possible. And I have my way of bringing people to understand this ancestral healing.
Yes.
And it's beautiful that you can come with your way, with the numbers, to see it and bring about the healing too, because, you know, just knowledge itself does not cause transformation.
Exactly.
You understand? But when you have a realization, you understand God is realization itself. You are in that energy. You have tapped into your God knowing when you have that realization, you know, you had that realization with the combination of all of these things coming together. So I want to stay with this point. So you put all of that together. You recognize, because I remember when you came back to me and you said, I just want to give you clarity, like you were right about the limp and right about this and you know, right about that. And you mentioned the number 4. You said, oh, and I know where the 4 came from. And, you know, that's when I said, oh, those numbers talks to this brother at a very high frequency.
Yes, most
because
definitely.
he was like that 4.
And that was the night. That was the night that he showed you a birthday cake, and it was his daughter's birthday, who already transitioned.
Yes, yes, and you told me that. So, oh my goodness, like it's so powerful. So I know why you're so passionate when you're helping people. And I understand now, you know, a lot of times people put out projects and they do things. And I love people when I know exactly that they have a authentic connection to their work. So, you know, as bold as people have been to write books about numerology and all kinds of subjects, when I seen that you put on there for mental stability, I said, oh, you have got to come on and talk about this, because you have to. This is something that has to be a part of who you are. And you have had to have been effective in doing it in order for you to put that out there. So I want to go one step further with this mental stability. So you struggled with your own mental health, and you found out that there were some factors. And I want us all to take this conversation in, since we have King Simon here, to really get a perspective that maybe have not been out there before. We look at one perspective. It could be your environment. You know, where how you grew up, some of your traumas and things that maybe you faced in this lifetime, or perhaps a past lifetime. Like you said, an 8-year-old. Where does an 8-year-old get this from, right? To even begin to think of that. And I think about my own sort of challenges with mental stability. You understand? Because really, I think that really should be the new word instead of mental illness, or it needs to be mental stability, because there is a point that we all must face a 4. We all must face an 8. You know, we all must come into a cycle that is more mental than it is spiritual.
That's right.
So you understood it from so many different angles of this coming up.
Still learning. Still always learning.
Still learning, of
Always
course.
unpacking. Yeah.
But when did you was able to internalize for yourself how the numbers and understanding them can bring stability to you? Because you're not going to get rid of
No.
these numbers. You understand? Some people run from the numbers, and we can do things like, in very rare cases, I have said to a client, use this version of your name as
Yes.
opposed to that.
Exactly.
Do
That's right.
not do not write your whole name, leave out your middle name.
Right. That's right.
Or I can tell if you have challenges with that last name, that birth name. I know it's
Or that marriage name, or that marriage name.
that marriage name, or that divorce name that you're still carrying. You understand? Like,
Exactly.
we can look at this
Yes.
energetically. We can look at this through frequencies of numbers. We can look at this and we can see how this is impacting you.
Right.
When did you say to yourself, okay, not I know everything,
No, I don't.
but this right here, I done figured out something,
Yes.
how I can bring this mental stability first to yourself and then to others?
When two of my friends took their life,
Wow.
and both of them were born under the number 13.
Wow.
And my grandfather, like I said, 22, his name, nobody knew his birthday. I remember
Yes.
22, that 4. My grandmother on my mother's side, checked herself, was put into a mental facility. She was born on the 7th.
Wow.
So I started seeing all this thing, and then I said, and what's so interesting about the two friends from my party life, and one of the guys, the one that was my friend, a woman and the guy, and may they rest in peace. I know they're around me all the time. One was my best man to my second wedding, and he burnt so many bridges that he couldn't call me to talk.
Wow.
And then he jumped off of a bridge, left his daughter, and told his mother. She asked him, "Where you going this late at night?" He said, "I'm going out, cold." Then he said, "This is what I heard. This is the story I heard." He said, "When you coming back?" He said, "I'm not."
Wow.
That was it. The other one before him, the girl who I used to go party and we did clubs together, she locked off her phone, told everybody, texted everybody that she's going to do this, boom, 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 bap. Locked off her phone. She knows she's in another part. She's in Connecticut or somewhere. Nobody can get to her from Brooklyn. All of her friends is mostly in Brooklyn.
Right.
By the time we got to her, she gone and leave her 2 children.
Wow.
And that's what triggered, and that not triggered me. That's what opened me up to say, I got to talk about this from those numbers, because 13 showed up again in this. And then when I couldn't make it to her funeral because they changed the date, she came to me in my dream. We was coming out of the same club we used to hang out with, hang out with each other and she came out again, held my hands, kissed me on the cheek, and floated off.
Wow.
In a dream. And let me tell you, this book, Numerology for Mental Stability, was supposed to be a tribute to women. It was going to be called the Book of the Woman. First,
Wow.
I just looked at it on my old computer. I said, "Oh wow, I still got all the notes to this." And she allowed me and said she gave me a silhouette of her picture when she was pregnant, and she was going to be the silhouette of the book.
Wow.
Before I manifest this.
Wow.
And then I dropped it when she died in transition, and then he died after that in transition. I said, no, I got to write about this.
Yes.
I'm not going to write about that just to give it to the women. I got it because it's about men and women suffering from this.
Yes.
So I got her first, and then he did it. I'm like, now I know what I need to do.
Yes.
Thank you, universe. Although it was something sad.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you, universe. I came up with numerovation. And that's when I just kept on going right. And my motto is, yesterday's numerology is not today's numerovation. That's my motto, because I'm going forward with it. Because by the next 10 to 20 years, it's going to be in people's mouth. Period. because we're going to do a whole nother level of just numerology. Because ladies out there, this is for y'all ladies. It was invented by a woman who was adopted. The word came into existence in 1907 by a woman named Dr. Julia Seton. But they try to pass it off to a man.
Yes, I read that story too. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I kept on studying. Then I found out her daughter wrote a numerology book. I bought that. I bought her book for $100 and bought her book after that.
Wow.
And her daughter, both of them have transitioned. But she was adopted, and she took it after. I'm just giving y'all some history.
No, go ahead. We love it. We love it. We love it.
With my spirit of research, even Lloyd Strayhorn said, "Man, I never dug that deep about that." That she studied under one of the great female numerologists of that time, Miss Lowell Dow Ballett. But Lowell Dow Ballett never said numerology. If you go back beyond 1907 and those, they never said numerology until more later on. Only the people that retranslated the books, that's what they call it, a numerology book. But these people are saying numbers vibration, numbers sound vibration. Yes. Even I was trying to find a book. I got the book over here, but it's so much that it takes me back, because although they give it to Pythagoras, but they forget the Chaldeans
had it. That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, the book, The Black Chaldeans.
Yes.
With the footnotes. The footnotes he have and the bibliography behind it is so much.
Yes.
He takes us to Dr. Ben and white ones and white scholars and black scholars. So you have to, and then I got the book Africa Counts with Dr. John Henry Clark doing the intro.
Yes, I have that book.
You remember that book? See,
I have
me and you right there.
Yes, I have that book as well. I do. Every book that Bobby recommended, Bobby, I didn't question. I haven't read them all, but I just got them. And said they're everywhere. Yeah, just get them.
Just got them. That's all I got thousands of books, but I have them more in storage now.
Yes.
It's for my children. I said, look, if you can't keep them, children, please give them to a black institution or the Schomburgs. Let them take it and do something with it. If y'all not going to keep it.
So many of them they were out of print then, like you said, and we had to search for them. But so many of them you cannot find anymore. You just cannot find. That's you go on this quest and you are searching.
Yes.
You are searching for the meaning behind the numbers.
Nonstop.
Just nonstop. And totally to the point where you are consumed, obsessed with numbers.
I'm not like the movie 23 or Knowing, but I'm there. I'm close, but I'm not there.
You are, what do you call it? Let me see. I gotta go in my notes here. I'm gonna get this one, King. I'm gonna get this one. I'm gonna tell you what you were. I'm gonna tell you.
Family. I
got that you have activated.
Yes.
Becoming a savant. With these numbers. See, I told you I had it. I had it in my notes.
Used that word before. Somebody called me that before.
A savant. You're just, you've activated this inside, when it comes to numbers. And so I know for me, as someone who utilizes my understanding of energy, understanding of the esoteric metaphysics, and just understanding of psychic abilities, and just all the studies, I have learned to really heal myself, with a lot of this. But I'll tell you, my greatest joy was when I could offer relief to others who were suffering. And I want you to tell me about what that was like, because you're experimenting a lot with yourself.
Yes, I am.
But when you got to the point where you knew, like, this is literally helping people change their lives. They're empowered by maybe something they thought was a curse, because many of the things that I have seen in my work, you tell me for you,
Wow.
is I can pick these things up in a person's spiritual DNA in the Akashic records.
Yes.
And then they will come back and say, oh, I had an astrology reading and they showed this in my chart, or someone did my numbers and I seen this in the chart. So when did you have that moment and you just was like, this is changing people's lives and offering them what you had figured out?
When my father did a session with me.
Wow.
He's a priest, as a pastor now.
Yeah, they're the best. They're the best. I must say, they are the best.
And his wife is super Christian, and he's super Christian. And I believe me, Ms.Blue, I like movie with Charles Dutton when he says, if Jesus or Muhammad or Allah can save you and you become a better person, then good.
That's right, because I'm the same way.
Me too,
I'm the same way. I have no qualms with anyone. My job is to help you heal. I don't care how you heal. That's up to you. That's up to you.
And when my father, out of everybody, because my father and I had our little strange relationship, him being in and out of my life. The story I've told it on that I almost went to kill my father at 15 years old because I only got one side of the story and I never got his side. But when my father wanted to save his marriage with numbers as one of the tools, as being a pastor, he had to do it behind her back.
To do it. Well, the book of Numbers.
And exactly.
Bible,
he's still reading the book of Numbers to this day because of
numerology.
Exactly. And when he and being a Christian and him being, they calling this to the point I couldn't even come up to school to his house recently because she says, oh, he practices witchcraft. I'm like, I said, witchcraft is she talking about?
Right.
What are you when you go to the pharmacy, you practicing witchcraft. Did you know that?
That's right. That's right.
So when he said, and this was like about 5, 10, him and his wife was going through some problems and he just wanted to, get, and I did it for free. I said, no, I'm gonna break it down. Because numbers are objective. Because I'm going to give you both the duality, the positive and negative. It's up to you what you do with it.
Yes.
I'm going to give you both sides. And I'm only here to make you a better Christian with your wife.
That's it.
Allow you to do that as a Muslim or Hebrew. And I got all kinds of clients.
Yes.
But he was the one that because he always remembered when I was in the Nation of Islam.
Yes.
Back in the early 90s. He was on drugs back in those days. And he was pillaging through my grandmother's house, his mother's house, while she was gone to Jamaica.
Wow.
And I came in on him. And I had a attaché case and bow tie and suit. I'm under Dr. Khalid. I'm under Mr. Farrakhan. I'm tight.
Yes.
We soldiers. You know what I'm saying? We coming in. So I come into the house. I'm like, Pops, what you doing? And then I knew he believed in Christ. He said, well, Jesus need to. I said, well, let me tell you something. You doing drugs? I said, Jesus ain't no punk.
Right.
He wasn't no punk. Why are you being a punk? And he said, from that point on, when he seen his older son catch him and said what he had to say to him while I was in that suit and bow tie, that's when he got checked into that rehab. And that's in a Christian rehab that his wife helped him. His third wife helped him. And he's still with that wife to this day. Helped him to move. So I'm glad that this is second point of that time of life that I helped him again. The next time was through numbers to help at least add a little bit of the armor to his religious armor to help keep that marriage going. At least I can say that was one of the pivotal points that I realized that I'm helping my own family. Because when you heal your own self and your bloodline, that's when it start taking on to your family. My children, my daughters start coming. My children start asking me. I gave them all my books. I said, look, your name is on it, so y'all can do whatever you want with it when I leave.
Yes.
It's yours. Because this, like Lloyd told me years ago, he said, this type of science will never go out of style.
Never.
Ever.
Never, ever. I liken, call it a part of a spiritual system. It's a part of spirituality. We've only started in the recent years separating these scientists.
Yeah,
Our ancestors seen it as a way of life. It
exactly.
was no separation. There was no this and this is a science and this is an art and this is a
Exactly.
study and this is, it
Exactly.
wasn't that. It was all
Just
one.
is. Just
It
is.
was the holistic part of what was going on in their lives. And they understood that. They understood it about the numbers. They understood it when they came to look at the sky. They understood it when they looked at the land, when they looked at the days of the week,
That's
when they
right.
looked at when they were born and what was going on, what was
Exactly.
happening. They
Exactly.
understood it. They understood it as a
It's, it's,
spiritual system. So,
yes.
so powerful. So powerful.
Yes.
I am
Beautiful.
I'm loving this. I
Me
definitely
too.
want
Me too.
to tell everyone I have the
Yeah.
link available for everyone so that you all can get King Simon's book.
Yes.
Uh,
Thank you. Thank you, sister. Thank you, sis.
I want you all to get this book. And I love the way it's written.
Thank you. Thank you.
Literally, every time I pick it up to read, I
Right.
hear your voice.
You're
I
the second
literally
person that said that.
hear you reading this. I
I'm about,
literally hear your voice ta-
uh-huh.
totally take over, and you are reading this. I hear it.
I'm about
You
to do an
know,
audio book for it too. That's an
you
audio book.
need to because I hear you reading it. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay.
Yes. And you see me highlighting major words and quotes in there all through the book.
Look,
I make sure.
look, I'm on it. I'm on it. Wherever you emphasize the point,
Yeah.
I am on it. I
I did,
am definitely on it.
I
But
did that
this
purposely.
is definitely a book you want to have,
Thank
not
you.
just for yourself,
And
but for your family and everyone around you.
can I
Because
tell you a story about the picture on there for reading?
yes,
When you're ready. When you're
please
ready.
do. I want to show that. I want to show
That
that.
that picture.
You wait, before you say something,
Yeah,
let
go
me
ahead.
tell you what I seen, and I
Go
want
ahead.
you to just tell me your first thoughts.
Go ahead.
When I opened the package and I
Uh-huh.
looked at the book you sent me,
Right.
I said, "Is that Ja Rule?"
Ja Rule.
Listen, when I started hearing him singing, I just want to tell you that. I don't know what that's about, but that's every time I see this, Ja Rule breaks out in the song. What would I do without my baby? I
But
just hear Ja Rule.
would you believe that picture was taken in Arizona? And
Mm.
after coming back from Sedona, I was staying in
Oh,
Flagstaff.
I love Arizona.
And
Love-
but the funny thing is that I had bought some coconut water and I believe
Mm.
it was not good and I felt poisoned. I got poisoned.
Wow.
And that's I put the towel over my head the next morning because I made it through it. But I took a spiritual bath that was given to me by Jerry Miller.
Mm.
You know Jerry Miller and
Yes,
Sandra,
I
right?
know that,
Yes.
brother.
That was
Yes,
my family.
yes,
Yes. So they gave
yes.
me a spiritual
Beautiful
bath, and I
people.
knew I carried it with me because I was going through it. I mean, I was hiccuping and everything was going on. I couldn't sleep. Things was coming out and coming up. And then I went and took the spiritual bath while I was taking the spiritual bath. And and when I got out the spiritual bath that they gave me, the powder and everything that they gave me, I kept on still coughing and choking and choking and coughing. Something was in that coconut water. You know, I know that,
Wow.
something you got to be careful of drinking the water in certain
Yes,
places and all that.
yes.
Sis, when I laid on my back, my spirit says, turn over and lay on your stomach.
Wow.
And I fell asleep, and whatever came out while I was sleeping. And I woke up, and then I put the towel because I put the towel on my head, and I just set the timer on my phone, and I just took the picture just like that. And that's how
Wow.
that picture came about after thinking that I was going to die that night before. That's how that
Wow.
picture came out. I was
Well,
exhausted. I was tired. I was so tired after I woke up after whatever happened, whatever I let out of me.
I'm gonna look. I'm gonna dive deep into that because there is a picture of Ja Rule where he used to at concerts put a white
Yes,
towel
white towel over his
over
head,
his
right?
head.
Yes.
And then for you to say that and to have these numbers here, you
Yes.
know,
Appreciate
and
that, God.
so powerful. I love this. I
Thanks,
love this.
thanks to the graphic artist Joshua Sarah. He did the graphics and the editing for me, brother Joshua Sarah. Excellent author himself.
Mm.
Mathematics, a great brother, spiritual brother. Dr. Africa student. Big up to him.
Okay.
Yeah, good
Wow.
brother.
Powerful. So, yes, we want to talk about this book, and everyone definitely needs to get this because it's going to give you some insight and understanding, no matter where you are on your numerology understanding, whether
Yes.
you're a novice.
Yes.
It's clear enough, like you said, simple enough, but powerful that no matter where you're coming in at, you're going to get something out of it, and you're going to get a perspective, an angle that perhaps you've never seen before, because I love the way you break it down, about even how to bring balance, mental stability and balance to the family.
Right.
And to look at that from a perspective of the numbers,
Right.
to talk about that. Mm-hmm.
You notice what I said in the introduction. I said this book is not a complete guide on numerology or numerovation. I will not go into the history of numerology because there are enough authors that attempt to explain it.
Yes,
I go straight to the point because that's what number ones do. We say what we
I was
mean.
going to say, that's what I'm talking about. I feel you on that one.
I ain't got no time. I got no time for the fluff. I got no time for the fluff.
I'm like, look, let's cut to the chase.
Yes.
Get rid of the fluff. Let's get to it.
I don't want no fluff. I've seen all these writers with fluff, and I'm like, nah, man, I don't want the fluff.
And we're in a different time period.
Exactly.
So, like you said, you can do all of that work if you want to study the foundational points of it. Right. But if you are a true practitioner of the work, and that work is, I call self-love and know thyself, you want to get this. You definitely want to get this. You want to have this because it's going to help you to understand the people around you. So a lot of things, we think everything is about us, but remember, we don't live on the planet alone. Right. And sometimes that compassion, that grace, that love you may need to give to your children or your partner or your best friend or people around you. You can be in a position where you can start to understand them better, and looking at the numbers, you can understand, you can even see. What I love is you show how these numbers intersect with each other. It's kind of like the book we did in Self-Invested. We went through a whole course of the Medici effect. Right. These are things that, usually when we greet each other, we think we're greeting each other as we are. Right. But we're bringing so much more to the table. You understand? We're bringing all 12 aspects of us. We are bringing our energetic bodies with us, and we are bringing our numbers with us. And sometimes when you bring certain numbers together, whoo,
Lord have mercy.
It's causes a whole supernova to be born. A star system can light up and be born. And on the flip side, it could trigger you, and sometimes those triggers can be brought out by people's numbers. We may be looking in all the wrong places. We're looking at certain things, but you'll get to understand more about who you are, and how that intersects with others.
And it was important for me to do it just like that, and then put recommended reading and websites in the back of the book. I have all of that in the back, and I'll guide you to that if that's what you want to learn. People don't know about the flow lines of number. The shape of the number means something.
Yes, that's right. All of these curves and circles.
Those curves and linear looks, is masculine, feminine, duality, all of that. It means something. So I talk about that in the book. And then I give you my own take on when you combine the two systems and how Chaldean and the Pythagorean and cosmic numerology, some Chinese numerology might be in there, some Japanese numerology. It's in there because I study all of them and I just put it all in there, but I don't give you all the jargon. I want you, without all these jargons, then you just need to know the interpretation and then take it make it work for you. That's all I want you to do. That's all I want you to do.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. So you answered one of my questions, and that really was about what people can take away.
Yes.
What can they take away from the book? And there's so much to be that they can take away from it. But let's get into some more things.
Okay.
And I want to talk about, and you let me know
Mhm.
how you feel about this. Let's do some numbers. And so
Mm.
maybe if some people want to put their numbers in the chat room,
Okay.
and you can begin to give them some insight
Okay.
on how their number is intersecting with
Mm.
our universal number and
Mm.
some of the things that they can do to bring more mental stability
Mm. Okay.
into their lives.
No
You
problem.
know?
No problem.
And I see they waste no time
You're
here.
wasting no time.
They waste no time here. I look at the room, I'm like, where are these numbers?
That's your room there. This is your room all day.
Any other time, it would take them 20 minutes to let me know if the sound is right. I didn't even get the question out. They channeled it instantly.
Quick.
Oh yeah, they use their psychic abilities. Oh, we know what she's getting ready to say. That's
Right.
it. We know, we got it.
What?
So
All right.
let's do this is misinformed in motion.
Mm-hmm.
1 5 1965.
Right. That
Love
means,
that name.
right.
Mhm.
That means her life path is a 9, but what I'm going to look at also is her alignment or her first pinnacle, because the 9 is the humanitarian number, and that you must finish what you start. 9 is the
Amen.
universal number and a higher humanitarian number, but it's a number of conclusion and initiation into
Yes.
finishing what you start, the life path. But
Mhm.
because you are because you have that 1 and that 5, that alignment number is a 6, or that achievement number is a 6. So whatever you do, you're supposed to do things in the healing, because the 6, which come with the 5 after, the 1 plus the 5 equals a 6, that deals with whatever you do, you're supposed to do the healing. And you're not supposed to be the mother hen over anybody, but what you're really supposed to do is ask the question that will pull out the information out of the person. Stop
Mhm.
giving them the answer all the time. Not
Mm.
everybody is ready for the answer
That's
from
so
people
true.
like you, because first of all, that alignment number 6 is an educational number. That number 5, which is your personal number, is a brilliant number, because it's able to adapt, improvise, and overcome things. And it gets so much. Remember, number 5 is called the jack of all trade numbers.
That's
So
right.
you get all this information. Y'all get so much. That's why I always tell number 5, or people born on the 5th, the 14th, or the 23rd of the month, be careful of being scattered with your energy.
Yes.
And that 9 is saying complete what you start.
Don't I know?
Complete. And my eyes are closed. My eyes closed because I start downloading. My eyes
No,
do
no,
close.
no. I know. I always tell them I wish I can put my shades on, but I need my readers,
Yeah.
because when you start downloading and channeling
Yeah.
information, you be
And these are
all
blue blockers. These are blue blockers for computers, because I
yes.
got to protect my eyes, because
Oh yes, for sure.
one rules the
Yeah.
eyes, so we got to
Yes.
protect the eyes. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope she got that. So I hope you understand what I'm saying. I hope you understand what it's saying.
All right. All right. Let's go. Oh, okay. Okay. We're going to go. Y'all are moving too fast for me. But we're going to go here and we're going to say thank you for the super chat donation. And we're going to get the brother in next. Yes.
Good. Now, interesting enough, this person has a life path number 9 also, which is interesting, because when you add it as full name, it breaks down to a 9. But when brothers hold on to 9, different than the women,
Mhm.
sometimes most people will say that they feel they have such a high esteem about themselves. One thing, I have 2 number 18s born in my family, my children. And
Yeah.
when you're born under that number 12 plus the 28, now think about 12 plus the 18, that
Mhm.
equals 30. You're supposed to be writing. There's a
Mhm.
certain mental outlook that you have to keep yourself on a higher level of understanding, and also be careful of letting people irk your nerves.
Ooh.
because of that alignment number 30. But that 18, remember that in tarot is the number of the moon. So it tells you that you're very intuitive and tapped in and connected, but you got to be very careful of who you allow in your space that can irk your nerve over the time and over in as far as in your family and all that kind of stuff. But because you have that 1 and the 8 energy, creativity and productivity is very important for you to have a lasting connection to the currency that you want to draw to yourself. But it's going to take the work. It's going to take you writing down your ideas and putting your ideas to work in an ample amount of time. Because 8 is one of those numbers that can also, 18 is one of those numbers that can also deal with pandemics and make money through problems and upheaval and war. It's one of those numbers that can go through that, but you got to make sure you've planned out what you had to plan and you think on a universal matter so you can accomplish the greater goal in the long run.
Wow, I love that. You said something I want to ask you about because you said, looking at this from a male perspective. Talk about the difference of that frequency that you see between the masculine and the feminine energy of how that energy shows up.
Because when women hold the number 18, they hold it in a more sincere manner of love, and they're not abusing their love. They're trying to show and give love because the feminine is also backing that 18, which is a 9. 9 is that energy, which is a male energy, known as a male energy on one aspect. But if you look at the shape of the 9, it's also feminine and masculine, depending on how you write it and draw it out.
I always see the top as the egg and the bottom as the sperm.
Exactly. Exactly. That's how I see it too. And what happened is that most men in studying the pattern cycle, sometimes people born under 18, like Lloyd would say, they feel that they're the greatest things since ice cream. It's just because their esteem is so high and strong. My son is the same way. One of my sons is the same way, born under 18. They carry themselves the same way, that they can get anybody they want, any woman who wants them. That's just that mentality. That's why most of the people that's born under the 18 have to learn to put in the check, and that's where the 8 of 18 is here to discipline you in what you're doing with relationships and all of that. And remember, 9, 1 plus 8 is 9, and your life path being that whole thing, that 9 also. 9 is the number of straight up haters. So you got to be very careful of people hating on you in your face, where 4 is the number of secret haters.
Yes.
You got to be a little bit more mindful who you carry yourself and how you're dealing with self. So, it gets deeper. And your name is something else too. So whatever name, and I tell people, you got to be very careful of the names that you choose as these handles too.
That again.
You got to be careful of these names that you choose as handles, because they can add even another dimension that could be either a challenge or a supporter of you.
Yes, so true. And sometimes it's not about how sweet it sounds.
Yeah, it's not about how sweet it sounds.
It's how it all comes together. How it all comes together. Absolutely. I love it. I want to give confirmation because the sister misinformed that you just read. She says, I am a math and science teacher for special needs students, and my energy does get scattered, and I will complete what I start. Absolutely. I love it. I absolutely love it. All right. Let's go to the next person. Brother Lance said, we telling our ages up in here.
You don't have to. You can just put your birthday, day and a month if you don't want to tell your whole thing. Yeah.
If you don't want to tell your whole age, you can just give us the date and the month. We can definitely do that there.
I can have fun with that.
Yeah, we can have fun with that. Yeah. Now, we don't want y'all to give away all the secrets.
Exactly. So when you add the 7 plus 11 plus 1969, that adds up to 1987. So that breaks down to a number 7 when you add it all the way across. It breaks down to a number 16, which could be a 7 if you are 25, depending on how you add it up. But that 7 shows up. But remember, you got 711, which deals with 2 spiritual numbers on different aspect and different perspective. Very intuitive. When you tap in, especially if you listen to your dreams and your intuition, especially being born on that 11, because we know 11 is that runway of equilibrium between the physical and the spiritual realm. And 11 is master numbers is not the easiest number to carry
Ooh,
because with great power comes great responsibility, as we all know.
that's
And
right.
because that 711, that 7 plus 11 alignment number is an 18 again, that 18 shows up again. You have to
Mm,
finish what you start and always think on a higher level. But cosmic numerology said when it shows up at that alignment number or that pinnacle number, that means this is your last exam on earth. And that
Earth.
if there's a
Yeah.
such thing as reincarnation, you don't want to come back here. So you got to live full of your dreams, full of your aspiration, like Les Brown will
Everything.
say, and
Go
still
forth.
on and accomplish. Hopefully your parents taught you different languages or guided you, because you're supposed to travel and do a lot of multiple things, because that, again, that life path breaks down to a 7. That's a traveling number, but it's a
Yes.
traveling in research and learning and guiding and being able to take on a lot of these different nuances of knowledge, but also be able to apply it as the master Jesus was, because the name Jesus adds up to a number 11. The name Muhammad adds up to a number 11. You got
Yes.
to understand what it entails to carry 11, period.
Yeah. Very sacrificing number for the
Very
collective.
sacrificing,
It's a very sacrificing number for the collective. Very powerful. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, very
Let's
powerful.
go. Let's go. Let's go. This is good.
Now this person is born October 25th. Okay, good. Alignment number 8, which is interesting. Plus that 1983, which equals 2018. 9, that's 10. Her life path is an 11. From that perspective, a life path. So a lot of mysterious and a lot of healing things have followed you, and you hold a lot of stuff in your thought patterns, which you got to let it out more. You can't hold, because people that born under that 25, remember in compound numerology, the 25 is the number of the observer and the listener. So you got to listen and observe more than you speak sometimes, especially when it comes to people, and always trust your intuition.
Yes.
Never doubt that intuition, because you're an old soul that needs to tap into your intuition more, and don't second guess it. Don't overthink it, because what happens, 25 is a 25-7, and people born on the 16th, 7th, and the 25 of any month overthinks a lot. And then you'll think your way right out of what you're supposed to do. And because you have a very big, powerful numbers when it comes to manifestation. Remember, 25 equals 7, and 7 is one of those numbers of the law of attraction, but you got to be very careful of what you think, or you're going to attract it.
Yes.
That part.
Instant. And you have that 10, that 1 and that 0. That's instant manifestation. And that 0 there is a full circle, can be seen as karma, as karmic. So whatever you're thinking, whatever you engage in, like King is saying, everything that comes back so quick. But imagine if you get higher frequency thoughts, you start feeling different, you start responding different. It'll come that fast.
And because it adds up to 35, 35 has the same meaning as 26 in compound numerology. And that's the number that says you got to be very careful of bad advice, bad partnerships, bad unions.
Yes.
So you got to be careful of energy vampires.
Yes, because they will come for you.
Oh, they'll come for you. And remember that your water sign with a water number, 2 plus 5 equals that 7, which is a water number. And remember, water is the natural conduit between the physical and the spiritual realm.
Yeah.
Study. It's all in. It's even in the movie Constantine. Go study what those movies are telling. I bought the book from there because of that Satanism and witchcraft. I bought that book just because I seen it on the dashboard, and I understood when I read it, because it's a history book. As a history book about when that all came about in the medieval times. Thank you very much, I hope it helps you, lady.
Oh yeah, that was powerful. That was powerful. Very powerful. I know, right?
But people don't realize that we put our compassion.
We do. I do too. You heard me read. I love it. And we love it. We are definitely here. I want to say thank you to everyone for the super chat donations. I'm going to figure out how to get to all of you, because y'all Y'all are just going in. We are going in. We definitely got to have King Simon come back and share some more information. Because believe you me, we haven't touched the iceberg. I got a whole bunch of
And,
questions here, but
and
I
I got
really,
sessions tomorrow. And I got to deal with.
yes, I love the
Keep me
interaction.
all
So
night.
we'll take a few more and then
Yes,
we'll
please.
continue on. So yes, all right. Mhm.
Now, and I'm glad she said what she said. She said life path 11. And one aspect is what? Life path 11. When you add month on top of day, and that's why I said look at things from a holistic perspective, because just because you have a life path 11 or have master numbers don't mean you're a master yet.
Right. That
It
means
could
you have the potential
potential to be a
and
master.
And like
Right.
you said earlier, and like I've learned too, it means that you're going to have more challenges
Right.
because you are destined for the master level. Everyone don't want to be a master.
Not
That
everybody
means
ready
you came back here and said, no, 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 keep pushing me. I want to try to get to that master level.
exactly. And because your alignment or your first pinnacle deals with that number 18 again, shows up at that number 18, which is a 9.
Mhm.
And you're also connected to the sign of Aries, which is also connected to the 9.
Mm.
Your hopefully the 5 that you're born under, the 14, which is a 5, has tempered any of your energy that can get you into arguments and all that. So you always got to
Ooh, yeah.
use that. You have to be able to adapt to when people say something out of the way or left field to you. You got to learn to take the higher road instead of
Mhm.
letting people take you down the lower road. Because at the end of the day, when I added the old method of doing numerology, it adds up to 1991, and 1991 across adds up to that 20, and 20 is a master number potential because the zero follow it, especially when it comes to
Right.
relationships.
Yes.
Relationships. So you got to be a little bit more careful how you're dealing with relationships and your sexuality,
Mm.
because 5 is the number of addiction. There's only
Yeah.
2 numbers in numerology that I've seen in my study that's been the number of addiction, and it's 5, 9, and sometimes 3, but
I was
definitely
going to
5
say
and 9.
3.
Yeah.
Definitely that 3. That
5,
3?
3.
Ooh,
No,
listen.
they want 3 sums.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Them threes want 3 sums. Whenever I see them threes, I take off running. No, 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 no.
But them 5s are crazy. They want 3 sums. They want the animals. They want this. They want. I was like, Jesus Christ! You got 5 sums. You want 5 sums too?
You want a 5 sum. They want to do it all. They want to do it all. I love it. I
Somebody said, "Lord
absolutely
of mercy."
love it. I love it, King. I love it.
Yeah,
It's powerful, powerful.
all
So
right.
maybe we'll take maybe one more. We'll take
Yeah,
one more,
one
you
more.
guys.
Yeah,
You know,
we,
we'll take one more, and then we 'cause we can do this. We could do this. Let's see.
whew,
Um, here
man.
we go. Let's go to Quantum Lion. Here we go.
What they say, quantum line. Okay, 31. You born the same day as Wesley Snipes. Means a lot. I don't know what exactly. I know accident systems were 28-day cycle. How do we read this?
Mm,
Okay, that 31 means a lot to me. Well, yeah, it should mean a lot to you, but you got to remember, in my book, I talk about it, and I want to go straight to my book on the page about 31. I want to make sure, and that's on. If you ever get my book in numerovation for mental stability, I cover all the numbers up to 31, and I speak about the number 31 being the symbol of self-containment.
And what page are you on? You
That's
got
on page 74.
74. Okay.
Page 74. So 31 is the symbol of, and notice I say symbol because numbers are symbols. The
Yes, I
symbol of
see that.
self-containment and self-seclusion. The individuals that are connected to the number 31 are advised to enjoy life, stay active, stay focused on a higher thoughts of goals. That's what the 31 you're supposed to do. 31 person can express their emotion in a weird but exciting way. So
Mm.
you got to be careful, like Wesley Snipes. He does that in a weird and exciting way. Just like when you seen
He
him
does.
in that new
He
movie, he's
does.
something else, and he's on the same day. You know,
Yes,
he was coming to
yes.
America. Oh yes, I am this. He's doing all, but he's showing you that he can be flexible. But you got to be careful of staying in your head, because that compound number, the lower octave of that number 31 is 4, that can lead you
Yes.
to mental problems if you don't learn to just
Mm.
mentally want to build, and then use the 3 and the 1, which deals with excitement and expansion and the willingness to be creative.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I'm just dealing with 31. I didn't even do your whole number.
I'm telling you guys, get this book. Get this book. I almost was late for the show reading my numbers and all of my family numbers, my children's numbers. I was like, whoa. And even for me, having a love of numbers, it's
Right.
always just so special when someone comes across with something new, something fresh,
Thank
and
you.
just to give you a different angle to be able to go in deep. And I was
Look
like,
Look at it.
true, true.
And remember, Ms.Blue, you got so much numbers around you. You can look at any one of those numbers.
That's
If you start
right.
seeing, the month, the day, the
Right.
month, the year, look at all of them and see
That's
which
it.
one works for
That's it.
you.
That's it.
Bring
And
it to
then what I love is that you give solutions.
Gotta give solutions.
You give solutions in it. I'm all about that. So you don't just get to understand that this number is connected to money and
Right.
it's
No,
connected to expressing yourself.
that's
It
right.
tells you more in depth. It
Yes.
brings it home, like
Brings it home.
close to your heart.
In
You understand?
simplicity.
Yes. And it's simple, it's to the point, and you explain it from all angles so that you know, because there's a polarity to everything. No one is dealt dirty cards. You know
Exactly.
how you ever played a spades game? No one's dealt dirty cards. All
Right.
cards are clean. It's how you understand the cards you're dealt with and understand how they're vibing. And
You know what's so funny? You know what's so
Mhm,
funny?
mhm,
I used to do I used to do I used to do a survey on the street,
mhm.
and I used to give like change or dollars to a homeless person, so and ask them for their birthday, so I
Wow.
can find out why they went down that road from
Yes.
traumatic. I've met people born the same day as Barack Obama.
Yes. And this is what I always tell people. Listen, nature,
Yeah,
there's templates. We all have templates that are out there. We are a seeded world. Know that. And understand that there were people that is in your oversoul group that were
Mhm.
born before you. This
Yeah.
is how sometimes someone sent me a picture where you can see a picture of someone that looked like Nicki Minaj
Mm-hmm.
was, back in the, I don't know, 18th century. You
Mm-hmm.
can see people who resemble other people because we're all part of an oversoul group. Now, sometimes those oversouls look alike, but
Mm-hmm.
really more of the oversoul is how we act, the
Yes.
same habits. So this is a part of our spiritual DNA, which is very different than our physical DNA, but
Mhm.
you will know where your oversoul group are. You will see each other. You will connect with each other. In some ways, we are all a part of each other's oversoul group. This is why we are all here together, because we have spent lifetimes together. I really feel and know, and we have some similarities within our
Yes.
spiritual DNA.
Exactly.
So this is so powerful. I love it. I love
Now, Miss Blue, do you look at when you see people born on like January 1st or February 2nd? Do you see the master numbers when you start seeing that
I
too? Like
do. I
me
do
too.
start
Yeah,
seeing it.
yeah,
I
yeah,
see
yeah.
it.
Me too. Yeah,
At first I never did, but then
yeah.
like you said, and I learned this also from working with Brother Bilal and
Yes.
and studying numbers, they start to talk to you. Like the
Exactly.
words start to talk to you. Like people's energy starts to talk to me. The ancestors, they're all around us. Like literally, you guys, it is filled to the brim with ancestors here. You understand? And I always know in a show when something is so magical, so divine, because it'll start to speak to you in the way that it's speaking. But I
Mhm.
want you to go ahead because I'm telling y'all,
Not cool, not
you're gonna want you're gonna want this. You're gonna want this and put it next to your bed
and
because
and let me share one thing with your audience that I shared with somebody else on a
yeah,
platform, because everybody started screaming, "Oh, you can't change your life path." I said,
yes, you can.
if you learn how to multiply, you will change your life path, because
Oh.
multiplication is exaggerated addition.
Mm.
And that's going to give you the trajectory of where you need to go with your energy.
Ooh, we got to do a whole show on that.
And because everybody got caught, everybody started screaming at me in the live chat. You can't change it because they're so used to that one way of looking at it.
You're stuck in it. Yeah. Oh, I love it. Yeah, we gotta.
We do it when we ready.
Yeah.
I need to bring you on my show. That's what I need.
No, yes, we gotta get it. We gotta.
We need to bring you on my show and have some
Yes.
fun.
Oh my goodness! Talk about going into the Akashic records. Wow, I love it.
Her and I is a horse too. We born under that Chinese zodiac, the horse.
Yeah, we're both horses. I love it. I love it.
Now,
yes.
a lot of y'all don't know I used to do comedy with friends of mine, Monteria Ivy, Uptown Comedy.
Oh, wow. I can tell. I could tell. You're amazing at anything you do. That's them ones. Them ones is shining, you know?
We having fun. I don't know about y'all. Well, I'm having fun with this lady because finally, after all these years, even Rich said, she's still around. He said, Rich said, she's still around. Of course she is. What are you talking about?
Yes.
Oh,
yes, I am still here. I am still here. Finally, you know, kind of coming out of my comfort zone, which will do that too. I'm going to let you sit down with my numbers and
we're
going to run it. We're going to run it. Yeah, we're going to run it.
Because just the year you born, I could go to Indian Vedic.
No,
there because they don't do the, you know what I'm saying? They don't do the two other numbers. They'll take that.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I love this information. You guys hit that like button right now. It shows in the blue room we got 144. King could go in on this number right here and let us know.
My YouTube is King Simon Presents on
YouTube. King Simon Presents. And listen to this, you guys. If it's not in the show notes, because I put it in the show notes, it's his LinkedIn link. But when you click that, you go into a whole nother universe.
Yes.
It's everything he does. Absolutely everything. I call it another unit. It's another portal. You teleport into another world. I went over there. Somebody called my name about 3 times. I ran back. I said, I'm going to wait for King to go over there.
And I want to remind everybody that if you're in Georgia or in the surrounding states, I got Professor James Smalls coming for 2 days, April 6th and April 7th. And I will, April 6th and April 7th. One is a public event and the other one is a private, only 33 people allowed there. He's born on the 22nd, so only 33 people is allowed there for no holds barred Q&A symposium with the legend himself, the one, the only Professor James Smalls. And I will be in New York to speak at Nicholas on April the 13th. April the 13th, I'll be speaking at in Nicholas, Brooklyn. So I can't wait to come out.
I love that. And what part of Georgia is the event going to be going down?
First one is going to be at Tassili's spot, not her restaurant, but at the 640 YG Cafe, 640 Evans Street. But the private one, you got to pay for the tickets to get that private.
Yes, absolutely. So you guys, you're going to reach out to King Simon. If you want to know the quickest way to get there, he commented under the post tonight, under the remix. Click that, go to his page, follow him, go click that LinkedIn link.
Linktree.
Yeah, what did I say? LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
You're going to get LinkedIn, but it's the Linktree. Yes, and click that and definitely get into that. We're going to try to take one more. So we can get into this. Let's see. This is Lovely. I love this name. Lovely Divine.
777.
We got another 11-7.
And we just had at this time. Ain't that something? And that's 1995. Wow. And your life path happens to be a 6. First of all, people that have a lot of healing numbers, those two, that always remember that the even numbers are all balanced numbers of balance and healing and health.
Healing, yes.
And on different levels. And because your life path adds up to that number 6, something you probably had to heal from your family in the past, something that you still hold on to that you need to let go and let the Creator. Let go and let it go.
Yeah, all about relationships.
All about relationships, because that 11-7 that you have there, remember, you have a lot of spiritual gifts that may have been held back at certain times of your life, but now it's time to let it out and fly. Like, let go and let the God force in you shine even more, and do your healing work for other people.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can't keep it under that bushel basket. And because it deals with 7, most of the best religious leaders that ran companies like
7,
Elijah Muhammad, Desmond Tutu was born under that 7
11.
energy. And you got to use that 7 energy and be willing to raise other people's consciousness and learn the law of attraction in the most productive manner ever, and be willing to write your book when you have a chance, and to help children raise up out of it, because that life path 6 helps with children and
Yes,
family.
family. That's all about the
But it
family.
tells me what you've been through with your family, that you
Yes,
have to resolve certain. It could be your mother's side, your father's side of relationship, but you need to forgive, let go, and
go
grow.
and grow.
And grow.
Ashe. Ashe.
I'm just looking at the numbers that you're giving me right now.
Ashe. She said Phoenix rising. Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. Absolutely. Ashe.
For sure. She said, for sure.
Yeah. She said for sure, for
and, and,
real, for real.
and remember, when you have double letters in your name, those are master numbers too. When you have
Yeah.
the double L's, or double E's, or double, those are master numbers to
That's
me too.
right. And all of those numbers line up with all of those letters line up with numbers. And
Exactly.
all of those go into the grand scheme of making us who we are.
Exactly.
Of who we are. This has been electrifying. This is has been so beautiful. I am so honored to have you come on, and I will be glad to come on your show whenever you want, and you can come back whenever you want. We're gonna plan some things out. I would love for you to come back and really just share with us your journey, share with us all the things that you're doing, and really for us to talk more about your understanding
Of course.
of what we call numbers, of
And,
this spiritual system. Yeah.
and why I call it Numerovation family is because I'm taking the numbers and using what I've learned over years to motivate people. So when you do a session with me, you might hear me quote Les Brown because it's supporting your energy. Or you might hear me quote Tony Robbins because it's supporting your energy. You might hear me quote Eric Thomas or Lisa Nichols because you might hear me quote Ms.Blue because it supports your energy.
Yeah, that's how I do. They used to that. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So I like to say, yeah, go ahead. So I'm sorry.
I was going to say, no, this is what I want to tell, because everybody's asking about the book.
Yes.
The book is on Amazon.
It's on Amazon through my link tree also. Yeah.
So look, when you click that link, you need to listen. Get you 2 copies, because one you're gonna write up.
Yes, that's that one up. I got this
another one. Get another one so you can have a clean copy. So when you see King, you can say, "Go ahead and sign it."
Yeah, sign it. I'll sign it exactly. And I'm gonna tell my age with this song. I'm so glad we had this time together, just to have a laugh and talk some knowledge. I'm so happy to be on Ms.Blue's show for the first time. Now it's time for us to say so long.
Oh, I love it. This has been a blast. It has done my heart well. Thank you so much, King.
Thank you
so much. You have to come back. This is beautiful.
This is fun.
King Simon, everyone. Numerovation. Did I say it right?
Numerovation. You said it right, girl.
Numerovation. Listen.
So you don't have to roll the R's like I got Cuban in my background. Numerovation.
Numerovation for mental stability. And in a time that this information is so needed for us on the planet, no matter your background, no matter where you came from, no matter your walk of life, this is needed. Everyone should really have this. And you guys know I don't just endorse things to be endorsing them. I don't. I'm kind of, I'm a little funny like that. But this right here, this hit a little different. This different.
Thank you.
It's different. I love it.
I love you. I love you. I love you. And there's nothing you could do about it.
I listen, and that's the best thing. I love you so much, and thank you so much for coming on. Shouts out to the goddess Rainwater because she
Thank
was the
you.
one that just kept saying, "You
Rain.
got
Water.
to get King on your show. This is a good brother." I said, "I know who he is." I said, and then I was so embarrassed when you were coming in the room,
King
and so
Simon
many
Solomon. Don't worry. They do that in the reggae community all the time. King
people
Solomon,
knew.
King Solomon, where I say? King Solomon.
I've been calling you King Solomon from a distance. You know that song, From a Distance?
Distance.
Yeah, I've been doing it for
Love from
years.
a distance.
Oh, you're talking about King Solomon? They like, Ms.Blue, you do realize.
His name is King. You know, I wrote a song called Simon Says, put your hand in the ear and wheel them like you just don't care. Simon Says, boom, boom, you got the horn. Go ahead. I gotta come on with my reggae tunes next.
I know. We just gotta have a whole show. We just gotta do a whole moment with it. I absolutely love this. Your energy is infectious. It's healing. It's uplifting. It's
Thank you.
pure.
Thank
And
you.
you truly are a shining star. You know, that just keeps on shining. You know, I often, you know, was watching a video. I'm just going to make this quick because I know you have to go.
I'm cool.
But I seen a video when someone said, never give up.
Yeah.
Never give up. And it was a woman who had started her YouTube channel.
Mhm.
Well, I don't know when she started it, but she was in her 80s.
Good.
And she said, never give up. Never give up. And she said, you know, some people tell you, like, if you miss the boat, you miss the boat. And she says, well, my boat has come for me for about 4 times in my life. And I started thinking about the different levels, the different pentacle levels that we reach in our lives. And even in astrology, you know, we talk about the different cycles where we are, you know, as Earth has a cycle. And she says, and she talked about when she was young and she was a teenager and how she did all of these amazing things and her life was great and so exciting.
Mm-hmm.
She went into these different phases. And as I was watching it, I thought about myself and I thought about what you said here. And I always tease people and I say, in a past life,
Yes.
I used to do this.
Yep.
And in a past life,
yes,
I did this. But it's not a past life as in another reincarnation. We are now having past lives within this lives.
Yes.
We are traveling through and we're having an opportunity. I spoke about this 5 years ago to be reborn again in this lifetime. So anyone that's out there listening, we heard this amazing story about this amazing king, King Simon. And he talked about, you know, from his earlier years of all the things you've done from, you know, working at the radio station to being a promoter, to being an artist,
TV, all of it.
You know, the television, you know, doing all of these things to numerology. Like, look how many lives he has lived.
Definitely in this book. No promotion is bad promotion. That's
Listen,
in this book.
Yeah, look how many lives he's lived and still living and not doing it from a very, very bold place. So I thank you for the inspiration. I thank you for the love. And I thank you so much for being a part of Planet Remix, supporting me, coming on, sharing your precious time with us. You guys can reach out to King Simon. You want to get one-on-ones. If you click that Linktree link, you will be able to get his text number to text in to get details about having your consultations with him, how to get a hold of his products, how to get contact with him, and even on his shows, his podcasts and things that he's done. And hopefully I'll get a chance to repay him by coming on. And
hey, we're going to do it for Women's History Month if we can. History Month if we can.
I would love it. I would absolutely love it.
And thank your daughter. Thank your daughter for showing me the way with this.
Yes, yes. It was like, Mom, I said, well, I didn't know what to say because
It's in the app.
she said, Mom, it's in the app.
It's in the, it's in the
In the
program.
app. And all you had to do was tell him. I said, well, I didn't know. I didn't know.
I figured it out myself. Once you said play with it, I said, you said play with it. Oh, I can play with this.
Yeah, that's it. Just get the playing. Get the playing. That's how I discovered this, was playing with it. I said, I'm going to figure this out in a way that works for me. What I like, the feel, and I'm getting there. I haven't got there 100%, but I'm working on it. So I thank you so much. Love you so much.
I love you
and
too.
We're going to get out of here. This has been amazing. Everyone have a wonderful, amazing week. Peace and love. Ciao. Peace and love, so family. Peace and love. Ciao.